Fundraising, Episode 2 Murder Mystery Night. A great way to raise money that's as fun as you can imagine is to host a murder mystery party. The logistics are a bit involved, but once you get all this in place, it should be smooth sailing, as long as the actors remember their lines. So, what does a murder mystery party entail? Well, you host a dinner party during which there are actors performing a play of sorts. They are typically comedies that are meant to be amusing, nothing too heavy. There's a script with a plot and a murder. The play can happen all around the room as well as on a semi-stage. Near the end of the play, the audience is invited to place their guesses as to who the murderer is at a particular time with ballots that are provided. Award prizes to those who guess correctly. If there are multiple correct answers, more than prizes that you have, names can be drawn to award prizes among the correct participants. So, what do you need and what do you need to do? The first thing you will need is a venue. Find a restaurant that has a banquet room or something similar. Find a place that can hold the number of people that represents how much money you want to make. Approach the restaurant manager and arrange a meeting to discuss exactly what they can do in terms of how many people they can accommodate, meal choices, and how much it will cost per person. Finally, you'll want to see the banquet room. Once you have this initial meeting, you may want to make sure that it's okay to come back with the actor group so that they can see the space in order to plan out their movements around the place. Then you will need a script. There are many places online that sell scripts, but you'll want to find a script that is for a dinner. For example, a good place to start might be haleyproductions.com or knockemdeadscripts.com. There you can see samples of the scripts that you're considering, which is really nice. In some instances, the scripts have to be licensed and are often cheaper for nonprofits than for profit groups. Also, sometimes subsequent uses of the same script have to be licensed, but are cheaper than the initial fee. So if you get a lot of interest, perhaps you can do the mystery more than once. After which, you'll need actors. You can go about this in a couple of ways. If your organization has actors and time, you can perform it yourself, which is what we did for my son's birthday party. But keep in mind that this was with a group of high school kids and young adults, and it was free to them. For something that's being paid for, you may want to approach the drama department at your local high school to see if they would like to perform the show to raise some money. An alternative is to get your local theater group to perform it. Again, they can use this as a fundraiser as well, and you can negotiate how much they'll get per person from the dinner. You will also need to get prizes donated, or you can purchase them, depending on your budget and how much you think you will make. A great place to start is with the restaurant itself. Perhaps they can provide a couple of gift certificates of varying amounts. Maybe your local theater group can donate a pair of tickets to one of their shows. You can check with your local grocery store. I wouldn't ask any other restaurants, not cool, but check around at your mom and pop shops to see if they can offer any items or gift certificates for your fundraiser. This is going to be a long one and will contain some redundancies, but you'll understand as we go along. You'll need to print announcement flyers that serve as invitations to the event. As you will have limited seating, you should include the phrase seating limited, first come, first served. Reservations will be necessary for this reason. Depending on your venue, payments may need to be made in advance, especially if people are choosing a meal in advance. Also, you'll want reservations to be made to ensure that you don't overbook the space. You should include all pertinent details on the flyer. Don't forget your 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why, and throw in an H for how, as in how they reserve a spot. In addition to these being emailed or mailed to all of the members of your group, you should leave some flyers at the restaurant. You can also ask local businesses if you can leave some with them near their registers. Additionally, some businesses and town groups have bulletin boards you can use. You will need to determine who will be handling the reservations so that you know what name and phone number to put on the flyer. It may be easiest if the restaurant handles the reservations if they are charging up front unless you have a way of accepting payments. Either way, this will need to be discussed with the restaurant manager. It might be best if you handle the reservations, then you can pay for the dinners in advance when you're providing the information for the meal choices for the guests. If they accept the payments, you can do a head count on the night to know how much the restaurant owes you and your actors. It would be a good idea to have a sort of agreement to this effect. By the way, you can also share your flyer on Facebook or other social media sites groups for your area. So, how do you determine how much to charge for this? The restaurant will have a set price for their dinners, especially if you're using their banquet room. Then, you need to negotiate a price with the actors group to see how much they expect to make off each guest. After that, determine how much you want to make. For example, if the restaurant charges $30 and the actors group wants 5 and you want 10, you would charge $45 per guest. I'm not saying that any of these numbers are set or real, they're just provided as placeholders for the formula. Only you know what's reasonable and doable in your area. But you can see that the larger the banquet space, the more money you can make. But even a banquet room that holds 30 people can yield $300 for your organization using the numbers provided. As a side note, on the invitations, you may want to suggest that people wear something pertinent to the theme of the mystery. If it's set at a dinner party, dress fancy. If it's set in an office Christmas party where an ugly Christmas sweater is the theme of the party, invite them to wear an ugly Christmas sweater. You get the idea. This can make the audience, dinner guests, feel more a part of what's going on. And remember to list the company who has donated prizes and co-sponsors of the event on the bottom or the back of the flyer. If the companies agree, perhaps provide coupons to their establishments. Listing them on your flyer can be a great bargaining chip when trying to get them to provide prizes. Now on to ballots. You'll need one per participant. These can be place cards that you put on the tables with their names in advance of their arrival to the venue that double as their ballots. Boxes, one per suspect. You'll need to make these in advance, so you'll need to collect shoe boxes or small gift boxes. They can vary in size and be decorated however you see fit, maybe in a way that reflects the characters that they represent. Reservation list. We touched on this previously. Make sure your reservation list includes all the information that you need. With each reservation, you need the number of guests, menu choice, names of each person in the party, and a phone number. Way of accepting payments. Determine with your group how you'll take payments. We touched on this previously. If you are a nonprofit, you undoubtedly have a bank account. Make sure to connect several different ways of paying through your account. It may be a good idea to have a way of taking card payments as well. Before we move on to things that you should do during the event, we're going to do a little summary of the things that you need for your murder mystery. Venue, script, actors, meals and beverages, financial agreement, which is optional as discussed previously, prizes, flyers, ballots, boxes, reservation lists, and a way of accepting payments. Now, you may want to make an announcement at the beginning of the meal to let guests know that there will be times that they will be called to order, in a manner of speaking. When this happens, it will be a cue for them to direct their attention to the action that will be commencing directly. Also inform them of anything that they need to know with respect to their meal. For example, if tips are not included, remind them of that. If alcohol is available for an additional cost, let them know that it's not included in the cost of their meal, but that it's available for purchase. Make sure to communicate in advance with your actors group to ensure that they have all the support from you that they need on the evening. Also, make sure to check in on the night to ensure that they're doing okay. Go ahead and assign someone and introduce them to that person as a point person in your organization who will serve to help them out if needed. If you feel that I've forgotten anything, or if you have questions or ideas to add, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this course video. I hope you learned something new and valuable. Bye bye.